Breaking news for Oklahoma renters. If you thought your rent was high last year, buckle up because what's happening in 2025 is about to make your wallet weep. Hey everyone, welcome back to Oklahoma House Report. What I'm about to show you today genuinely made me do a double take. We're talking about a housing crisis that's spiraling so fast, experts are running out of polite ways to say we're in serious trouble. If you're a renter in Oklahoma and you feel like you can barely afford your apartment anymore, you're not losing your mind. You're just living in a state where the math has stopped mathing. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why affordable housing is vanishing, who's getting hit the hardest, and what you can actually do about it. Make sure you're subscribed because this stuff changes faster than Oklahoma weather. Here's the reality facing Oklahoma right now. According to the latest data from the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, a full quarter of Oklahoma renters, that's 25%, are classified as extremely low income. 1 in 4. These are people earning at or below 30% of their area's median income. For a family of 4 in Oklahoma, we're talking about $30,000 a year or less. Now here's where my jaw literally hit the floor. For every 100 extremely low income renters in Oklahoma, there are only 38 affordable homes available. 38 out of 100. And that number is dropping fast. Last year, it was 42 affordable homes per 100 renters. We lost almost 10% of our affordable housing availability in just 12 months. Oklahoma now needs nearly 85,000 additional rental homes just to meet the basic needs of extremely low-income renters. That's equivalent to housing every single person in Norman, Oklahoma all over again. And here's something that should make every Oklahoman's blood boil. Both Oklahoma City and Tulsa rank among the top 20 cities in America with the highest eviction rates. We're winning medals in a competition nobody should want to excel at. So who exactly are these extremely low-income renters? According to the most recent analysis, 83% fall into 3 specific categories. First, working people. More than a third are employed full-time. They're showing up to work every single day and still cannot afford basic housing. Here's something that should make you angry. 2 people working full-time at Oklahoma's minimum wage of $7.25 an hour cannot afford a typical 2-bedroom apartment at fair market rent without spending more than 30% of their income on housing. 2 full-time jobs, 80 hours of work per week combined, and you still cannot afford a basic 2-bedroom apartment. Second, senior citizens. About a quarter are seniors living on Social Security. These are folks who built Oklahoma, paid into the system their whole lives, and now they're being priced out. As Carrie Bloomert, CEO of Mental Health Association Oklahoma, said, folks who get a $900 Social Security check once a month, that doesn't cover a $1,200 rent payment. We really set people up to fail. Third, disabled Oklahomans. Nearly another quarter are people with disabilities living on fixed incomes that haven't kept pace with skyrocketing rents. These aren't lazy people making bad choices. These are hardworking Oklahomans, elderly folks who built this state, and people with disabilities who deserve stable housing. Now let's talk about what happens when people can't keep up with these unaffordable rents. Oklahoma has one of the fastest eviction processes in the entire country. You can go from being 1 day late on rent to being physically removed from your home in under 2 weeks. Oklahoma City's eviction rate is 14%, 7% higher than the national average. More than 77,000 households in Oklahoma City alone are cost-burdened, and 62% of those are renters. Earlier this year, there was actually hope for change. Senate Bill 128 would have added just 5 days to the eviction timeline, giving families breathing room to catch up on rent or find alternative housing. 5 days, not 5 months. 5 additional days. It passed the legislature with bipartisan support. Republicans and Democrats actually agreed this was necessary, and then Governor Stitt vetoed it. 5 days could mean the difference between staying in your home or ending up on the street. But apparently that was too generous. If you're finding this information valuable, drop a like to help others discover this update. More people need to know about this. So why is affordable housing disappearing? Several factors are creating a perfect storm. First, construction costs are through the roof. Building supplies cost significantly more. There's a severe labor shortage, and developers cannot afford to build housing that's affordable for low-income families without substantial public assistance that isn't available. Second, zoning restrictions. Many Oklahoma cities only allow single-family homes in certain areas, making it illegal to build apartments, duplexes, or townhomes. We've zoned ourselves into a housing crisis. Third, insurance costs. Property insurance in Oklahoma has increased dramatically, and landlords are passing those costs directly to renters. When insurance premiums jump by 30 or 40%, rent follows. Fourth, existing affordable housing is being lost. Older apartment complexes are being purchased by corporate investors, minimally renovated and rented at market rates that low-income families cannot afford. Fifth, wages are not keeping pace. Oklahoma's minimum wage has remained frozen at $7.25 since 2009. That's 16 years without an increase. We expect people to afford 2025 rent with 2009 wages. Climate-related disasters are making everything worse. Oklahoma has seen increased severe weather events that damage housing, drive up insurance costs, and reduce rental inventory. Some insurance companies are pulling out of the state entirely. So what can you actually do? First, know your rights as a tenant. Document everything in writing. Understand your lease before signing. Know the legal eviction process. Second, apply for rental assistance programs immediately if you're struggling. The Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency administers several programs, but funding is limited and runs out quickly. Third, contact your state legislators. Tell them you support bills that would slow down evictions, protect tenants, and fund affordable housing development. Legislators respond to constituent pressure, but only if you apply it. Fourth, look into housing counseling services. Organizations like the Mental Health Association Oklahoma offer free housing counseling that can help you understand your options and find resources. Fifth, consider organizing with other tenants. Tenant unions and renter advocacy groups have real power in numbers. Sixth, if you're facing eviction, show up to your court hearing. Many evictions happen by default because tenants don't appear. Appearing gives you the opportunity to negotiate. Seventh, explore alternative housing options like room rentals or house sharing arrangements. Now let's talk about what needs to happen at the policy level. Oklahoma needs to significantly increase funding for affordable housing development. Other states have housing trust funds that generate hundreds of millions annually. Oklahoma's investment is a fraction of what's needed. The state needs to reform zoning laws to allow more diverse housing types. Allowing duplexes and small apartment buildings would dramatically increase housing supply. Oklahoma needs tenant protection laws, extending the eviction timeline, requiring just cause for eviction, and limiting rent increases would provide stability for hundreds of thousands of families. The minimum wage needs to be increased. $7.25 an hour is not a living wage anywhere in Oklahoma in 2025, period. We need programs that help low-income renters become homeowners. Homeownership builds wealth and provides stability in ways renting never can. Insurance reform is critical. The state needs to address why insurance costs are skyrocketing and work to keep coverage available and affordable. Here's what's coming next. Without significant intervention, experts predict Oklahoma will need over 100,000 additional affordable rental units by 2030. That's just 5 years away, and we're currently moving in the opposite direction. Eviction rates are projected to increase. Corporate investors are continuing to purchase rental properties. Climate change will continue driving up insurance costs. This is not a problem that's going away on its own. It's getting worse quickly. Only actual policy changes and real investment in affordable housing will make it better. Thanks for watching this urgent update. Subscribe for more breaking news and analysis about what's really happening in our state. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully with better news.